Hey, what's up guys? Little man with a big opinion here. Today's video is going to be a follow-up from my last video about prepping while you're on a road trip. I was talking with a good friend of mine, and he said that video seemed to be like a overlooked overlooked topic among preppers, and we talked about different ways you can expand upon it. Um, so today's video, we are going to expand upon it into the idea of, prepping, while you're at work, you're out at the mall, just kind of a day trip kind of thing, not road trip distance. So for starters, if you like the content that I'm putting out, then like and subscribe. And the information that I'm giving you in this video, if you think it would benefit a friend or family member, then share the video with them. We're over 100 subscribers, but a far cry from the 1,000, so your support helps. I'm going to keep making the videos anyway. So, the first preface that I'll make is, this is within a day's trip of your castle, your fort, your bug out location. So while you're at work, while you're at the grocery store, you went out to the mall, you went to the movies, anything like that, the big idea of this is you have gathered all of these supplies, you've gathered all the knowledge, you've got the firearms, the food, and everything, but the SHTF situation doesn't happen when you're sitting on top of your stockpile in your fort. It happens when you're 45 minutes away, a couple of hours. You're getting gas just slightly down the street. That one's probably the easiest. You should be able to make it home in that situation. But the things that I carry with me and my thought process throughout the day, I have a first aid kit and a IFAC that I keep, or individual first aid kit, that's more along the lines of a trauma kit inside my vehicle at all times. While I was in college, the IFAC would go on my backpack because I carried, a more military style with molly webbing and stuff, and so that was with me at all times. If you're allowed to carry a firearm, whether it be a license or, in your state you can carry it in a movie theater, but in another you're only allowed to carry it in a few other places. If you're allowed to carry a firearm, carry it on you. If not, keep it in your car. But outside of that, the only other things that I physically carry on me is a pocket knife. You could exchange it out for a multi-tool and a lighter. So, very simple things to keep with you at all times. A lot of people say one of the greatest discoveries of man was fire. I don't want to carry flint and steel or a ferrocerium rod or matches. Lighters, the quickest way to start a fire. I have sometimes carried matches. The big thing with all of these is the lighter could not work, the matches could be wet, so the ferrocerium rod will probably be one of your better bets if you want something that you won't lose function, and it can't be damaged or put out of action. Another thing that I used to carry back when I wore cargo pants or cargo shorts more often, and you can substitute a lot of your items, is if you've seen a video on people making the survival kits in an Altoids can or something very similar to that shape, a couple of inches thick, 4 or 5 inches long, and a couple of inches wide. you'd be surprised on the amount of stuff you can fit inside of an Altoids can. Couple of iodine tablets, matches, pocket knife, fishing string, you know, maybe a piece of candy, and, you know, some cash on hand. Which, if you don't have any cash with you as a prepper, then you're putting yourself in a situation where power's out, systems are down, you still need to purchase gas to get home, grab some last minute supplies before that, you know, hurricane or natural disaster or the zombie apocalypse. You know, whatever you feel like you're prepping for, you can also carry, you know, one of those micro survival kits as well. Outside of items that you can carry, you know, obviously I preach about knowledge is a really important aspect. You probably won't keep a map in your pocket, so, you know, generally knowing the way home, maybe knowing a couple of other ways home, off the top of your head, should be, you know, a priority on your list. You're not on a long road trip where, you know, you're following the directions of a GPS. This should be a route, you know, going to your local mall, your work, you know, especially work. You take the same route twice a day. It wouldn't hurt to, you know, once or twice a month, take the route that's 5 minutes longer, take the route that's 15 minutes longer. I wouldn't do it often because, you know, financially you're using more gas. But knowing several ways home, keeping up with road construction, when there's going to be closures, you know, maybe you see an accident and, you know, the end of the world is starting, so you're getting ready to head home, and Route A, the quickest, fastest route, is unavailable. The last little bit of information that I will include in this isn't supplies that you carry with you, because, you know, theoretically you could fill your pockets till they burst and you'd probably be uncomfortable, and at one point you would hit not being, you know, subtle about what you're doing. But with situational awareness, there isn't a exact guideline for it. You know, the general consensus is, like it says, being aware of your surroundings, being able to perceive potential threats, and doing your best to avoid said situation. Or if you believe that situation is, you know, inevitably going to happen, you know, what is your exit route? What is your plan of attack or advancement? And, you know, the simple thing is, you know, when you go out to eat, sitting close to an emergency exit, sitting in a position where you can survey all of your surroundings. When you're driving, if it feels like, you know, someone is dealing with road rage, you know, staying out of their way, being aware of, you know, at night, animals could be, you know, a higher probability. Your vision, you can't see as far, so maybe you slow down a little bit, stay in the center lane so you have more of an opportunity to react to that situation. Not eavesdropping on conversations, but if you can tell, you know, something is heated, you know, maybe you exit out of that situation before, you know, it escalates into some sort of conflict that you could potentially get in the middle of. And with that, you know, don't present yourself as, you know, the savior of a situation. Don't present yourself in a way that could heighten or enhance hostilities. So, you know, on the back of my car, I have the "Don't Tread on Me" or the Gadsden flag. I put it on there within weeks of getting the car, and I've debated taking it off because more and more it's being, you know, shown as one of the signs of a specific party affiliation. Um, if a running joke amongst right-leaning gun owners is if you're wearing the 511 pants, you're wearing the athletic shirt or a polo, and you've got a baseball cap that you can put a patch on. It doesn't even matter if your patch said legalize pot, and you were wearing hiking boots, combat boots, or like athletic shoes. Generally, people go, that guy's either an undercover cop or I know he's concealed carrying. For the most part, I'll wear tennis shoes, some sort of, fishing shirt, mainly because I lived on the coast for a long time. But even that, a group of people, the Boogaloo Boys, they like to wear their combat gear and a Hawaiian shirt. That could be perceived to somebody as a differing ideology, and in today's climate it could lead to an escalation. Outside of your car and what you're wearing, there's not really it's very difficult to be the gray person, especially if that is your entire wardrobe and financially you're not going to go out, purchase something else and completely change. But just know that there are certain outfits, certain things you can do to your vehicle that can make a situation worse for you or maybe better for you. But you want to stay in the neutral gray area, and you want to be prepared to get home and get back to the safety of your gear. So, little recap. You can't carry a lot on you without seeming suspicious or maybe coming off as weird. At the same time, there is some gear that you can have on you at all times. I guess I could have mentioned, people call it their everyday carry. It's normally cash, pocket knife, fire starter, and firearm for myself. In the vehicle, first aid kits. I previously talked about bug out bags, knowing how to, safely get out of a situation, help in a situation, whether it be, through force, medically, or, just de-escalating it before it passes something verbal. So, like I said in the beginning, if any of that information was useful, like the video. If you have anything else that you would like to contribute to what I discussed in this video, then leave it in the comments down below. I'm not a genius. These are just my opinions on what I've learned. Technically mine and my friends' opinions as we talked about what to put in this video. And lastly, you found it helpful. You probably liked and subscribed. But if you have a friend or family member that would benefit from the knowledge that I spoketh in said video, then share it with them. And share it with anyone that, even if they don't think this video is useful, I think I'm over 100 videos now, so they'll probably find something useful. Just bring more light to the channel. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.